All right, let's talk a little bit about the abundance mindset today. So if you are anything like me, I, for years, would hear people talk about you just have to have an abundance mindset and then everything will come to you. You need to think abundantly. And I thought I was like, okay, I'm thinking abundantly. There's plenty. There's more than enough for everybody. And I was having these thoughts that I thought I was doing it right, but nothing was changing. And then I started to try to really think about, so what does this mean to have an abundant mindset? And what does it mean to have a scarcity mindset? And I realized I wasn't able to look past my current reality, my current results. So there were lots of things that were holding me back. I would think in my conscious mind, oh yeah, there's abundance. There's more than enough for everybody. I see that. I see it. I really do. But then deep down, I didn't believe it because I couldn't see it in my reality. So people would talk about it and they would say, you just have to think abundantly. And it would sound so simple. And I'm like, why can't I think abundantly? Everybody else seems to be able to do this. Why can't I do it? And I would just get so frustrated with myself. Like there must be something wrong with me. It should be simple, right? Abundance versus scarcity. I have this lack mentality that I can't seem to get past. And I was so stuck in here for the longest time and getting really mad at myself, thinking that I was doing something wrong because everybody else could think this way. Other people were able to do it. Why couldn't I come from a place of abundance? And I was so stuck. And then I finally started to be able to change when I thought about two things in particular. The first was nature. So when you look outside of nature, then you can start to see the abundance that is all around you. Like if you look at this tree right behind me, if you were to sit and count every single flower petal that is on that tree and those blooms, it would be a really high number. And that is just in the tree, right? You look at the grass that I'm standing on, every single blade of grass, and then think about how much there is throughout the entire world. You think about every single grain of sand that there is. You can start to imagine this abundance. You can start to realize the vast amount of things that there is around us. Now, the other part to this was with reading Neville Goddard's book, The Power of Awareness, I began to become aware of some of these concepts I've heard before, but they never really clicked. But in reading that, I finally started to understand that I am a spiritual being. I am a spiritual being that is inside of a physical body. Now, my spiritual being is not tied to these restrictions that our physical body is tied to. My spiritual being has infinite potential. Now, that idea, that number, infinite, that is hard for our human minds to just put. It's not concrete, right? It goes on forever and ever, infinity. Like you can say that word, but to understand that word and start to realize what infinite potential really is and what that means, that's a whole nother thing. So to begin to understand that you are a spirit, you are just in this physical body, and your spirit has infinite potential. You just keep telling yourself that. Now really meditate on these ideas. What does that mean for my spirit to have infinite potential? It can do all things. It can be all places. So this is where this abundance comes from, and understanding that spirit is all there is. Everything is created from spirit. Everything is energy. Even the wood, the grass, the stone, it is all energy. It is all made out of spirit molecules that are vibrating in a certain frequency. So when you can start to understand this, and you can start to align your spirit on that frequency of abundance, that is where things start to come to you. Now, another thing that is really in line with that same frequency of abundance is gratitude. So I say this all the time, but you should be always grateful, but never satisfied. Because we have this spirit, we have this infinite potential inside of us. We should never be satisfied with just good enough. Never be satisfied with just surviving, just getting by. So we're always striving for more, because that's the other thing. Spirit is always for expansion and fuller expression. It wants to be, expressed higher and more and bigger, creative ways. So we're always striving for more, but we're also always immensely grateful for the things that we already have and the things that are coming to us that we already know will be here. So I hope this helps you to start to bring clarity to what this abundance mindset really is and how you can start to think of it. Because I was so confused for so long. I thought I was doing it. I thought it sounded so simple. Everybody says you just have to think abundantly. Like, okay, I'm thinking abundantly. There's more than enough. I get it. And it just wasn't clicking for me. So if this is helpful for you, please share in the comments below. What are some insights that you get from this? How are you able to start to see things a little bit differently? How are you able to start to look at things like this magnificent tree right here? Look at the grass, look at the sand, look at everything around you, and start to understand this abundance that is all around you. So share in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on more videos as they come out.